I have a cold.
Take some medicine.
I have a stomach ache.
You should lie down.
You must see this film. I'm sure you'll love it.
I have to wear a uniform at work. Well, at least I don't have to waste time deciding what clothes to wear.
We can give advice or talk about obligation in different ways. We can use the imperative, or we can use the modal verbs should, must, and have to. In this video, we are going to focus on modal verbs. First, let's look at their form. Should and must do not need the auxiliary do. For example, you should relax. You shouldn't work so much. Should I go to the doctor's? I must do some exercise. You mustn't smoke in here. Have to needs the auxiliary do for negative and interrogative sentences. For example, I have to write a report. I don't have to work tomorrow. Do you have to wear a uniform? So what's the negative and interrogative form of this sentence? They shouldn't tell Mike the truth. Should they tell Mike the truth? What about these sentences? You mustn't enter that room. Must we do our homework? Great, well done. Let me just add some more details. First, have to is the only one which can be used in other tenses. I love having to get up early. Yesterday I had to work late. Tomorrow I will have to help my boss. Second, although we cannot say will must and will should, we can use must and should to talk about the future. Tomorrow I should study a bit more. Tomorrow I must help my boss. Finally, be careful with the pronunciation. Do not pronounce the L in should. Should. The negative is shouldn't. Shouldn't. The pronunciation of must is easy, but in the negative, do not pronounce the first T. It's mustn't, mustn't. Okay, that's everything about the form. Now let's see how to use these verbs. We use should to give advice or our opinion. It's less strong than must and have to. You should lose some weight. You shouldn't smoke. We can use ought to in exactly the same way. You ought to lose some weight. You ought not to smoke. Now let's see the difference between must and have to. Let's start with positive sentences.
You must study.
Why?
Because I say so.
People in authority, your boss, your teacher, your parents, etc., can use must to give you orders. In this example, the mother is telling her child to study. Compare it with the following example.
You have to write a short story.
Why?
That's what your teacher said.
We use have to for external obligations. In this example, the father is not giving the order. He's just informing his son about what his teacher said. Let's see more examples.
You must do exercise.
I have to do exercise.
I must do exercise.
Here the doctor is giving the order. Here I'm just informing my friend about what the doctor said. I have to do exercise because the doctor told me to do so. Here I must do exercise because I think it's important. I decide I must do exercise. So, the person who gives the order or strong advice uses must. If the obligation comes from someone else, then we use have to. Another example.
I must buy a new shirt.
I have to wear a tie at work.
By the way, we can also use must for strong recommendations. You must watch this film. It's great. You must go to Indonesia. You will love it. In negative sentences, must and have to have completely different meanings. Mustn't expresses prohibition. You're saying that something is forbidden. But if you say, you don't have to do this, it means it is not necessary. You can do it if you want, but it's not necessary. So what's the difference between I mustn't take photos and I don't have to take photos? You say, I mustn't take photos because it is forbidden to take photos. Maybe you're in a museum and photos are not allowed. You say, I don't have to take photos because it is not necessary. Maybe your friend will bring a camera and she will take the photos. If she takes the photos, then you won't have to do it. Okay, let's practice.
You must eat healthy food.
I have to eat healthy food.
You have to turn left here.
You mustn't smoke here.
You don't have to do the exam in September if you already passed in June, but you can do it if you want to get a higher mark.
Well done, see you.